Today we're going to be going over how to set up your 1000B-3, also known as 1000 with the water kit system. First thing you want to do is, everything's going to come in a big package or crate. We're going to uncrate everything and get everything set up. This is your 1000 unit with water and with the trips on it. This is your drive system, which would be in a separate box. And of course all my parts are laid out. Our barrel mounts, our plant stands that are universal. This is the kit that will come inside your box. But right now we just have one opened up out of our supply or out of our inventory, instead of open the bag up. Your barrel kit, which is your J-hooks, your hose clamps, and your barb that goes into your tank. Your unit bag, which includes your pins for your hitch, U-bolts, and carriage bolts for your seat system. Your safety strap and barrel straps, again, only on B3 you'll get that stuff. This is a diamond clamp setup, so you'll have your bag of hardware, which also will come in there. Your safety pins for your B3 kit, guard, and chain, your course fasteners on that, and also our cushion seat bracket system, and our cushion seat, barrel, and hose. Tools that would help out on this would be a 1/2-inch drive system, either ratchet or impact, a 1/2-inch deep well socket, 11/16, 3/4, and an 1 and 5/16 socket, an impact with a 1.5-inch socket and wrench, 1 and 5/16 wrench, 1 and 8, 3/4, 9/16, 1/2-inch wrench, a 5/16 wrench or screwdriver, and of course the hammer is going to be used for when we remove our cotter keys on our wheel to be able to install our plant stands. Okay, first thing we'll do, as you see, we already have our drive kind of hanging in the air here. You could use whatever forklift or a couple people lifting onto it, but you're going to get your unit clamp bag out. And inside that bag, you're going to have 6 1.5-inch hex head bolts, which you're going to need 4 right now, and 4 nuts, 1/2-inch nuts. What you can do is line this up. Put it in your top hole first. There we go. Just start your nuts to keep them falling out on you. And then you can lower it down to be able to line up your bottom boards. And then we'll tighten these up. Using a 3/4 inch socket and a wrench. You snug them up at first. And go back and make them stay. This way there, it finds its home. Okay, next thing we're going to do, we're going to install our clamps under our drive system so we can put our hitch on so it can support itself. Notice we got 4 holes in here, 1/2-inch and 7/16. We're going to use our top hole on it. So we're going to grab 2 more 1.5 inch, 1/2 by 1.5 inch, We got a number 43 bushing that slides over it. That'll feed in from the wheel. Again, let's say we're going to use our top hole. Spin them on, grab our other one. Same thing. Load our bushing. Goes into our drive. Again, top hole. And these we can tighten up. Okay, on our B3 kit, we gotta install what they call a safety strap. What it does is limits your drive and your A-frame coming up too far with the barrel on it and taking out your operator, I guess you could say. So to do that, we have these pins here, okay? The kit only have 2 that comes with it. So what we need to do is remove this bolt here, because we're going to need that on the other side. So this is where we get our 11/16. Remove that one. We set these up standard to come with a system with no water. So that's the reason why you'll have to move that bolt. Feed it in from the back side. Okay, you go bolt, washer, and then nut. Okay, so now our pins that we have, remove our nut off the kit. You go through your chain, make sure the washer's there. Okay, then, again, same thing back here. Oh, then I also forgot you're going to need a 11/16 wrench, preferably 2 of them. I didn't have that on my cart, so I got to go over to the bench and grab one. So that's what you're going to need to tighten it up. So you can get away with one. There we go. Guess what we could do also is use our, there we go. Okay, so then what you can do is washer, pull our pins off here. Another washer, and then put your hitch pin back in, or clip pin. Okay, so that's hooking your clamps up to your drive system again. If you didn't have water, you wouldn't have to worry about the strap. You just bolt your clamps on. Now we're going to get our hitch, and before we install it, we're going to put our hitch pins in so we can get to them. So we're going to grab our hitch bag, where our hitch pins are. Pull your lock washer and nut off, and reinstall it. This is where you can use your inch and 5/16 either socket or wrench, whatever you have, or something equivalent to it. I guess switch over here. Okay. Now we're going to need an 1.5 inch wrench, and then the rest of our fasteners that came in our clamp bag, which you have 1 by 8.5, lock washers, and nuts. To ease the installation, and also we're going to need our barrel mounts too. We're going to steal the pipe stands. I'll just use it over here. Install your pipe stands. Foot towards the bottom. And this will help hold up the A-frame if you're doing this by yourself. Unless you have help, then someone can help with holding the A-frame up and balancing the barrel mounts. But this is doable with one person. Clipper pens. What we'll do is lower our unit down just a little bit until we get into our forward so it won't fall over. Then we take one barrel mount, feed our bolts through, clamp, lock washer, and nut. Again, lock washer and nut. Grab our other barrel mount. And then repeat. Put in the bolts. What we're going to do is center our A-frame. Best way of doing it, because our tire's center, right? Just go off our rib. If you look down the A-frame, center your tire, and into your pockets. This here, you're going to want to snug up just a little bit of time on both sides again. Go to our other side. And after these are snug, then we can make it stay. Okay. Let's see, now we can lower it down and get whatever you use to hang the drive or support the drive out of the way. Okay, next thing we're going to install is an inside guard, our drive chain, and the outside guard. Well, first, I'm sorry about that. Next thing we're going to install actually is going to be our seat brackets. Otherwise, you really can't get to them when you put the guard system on. So I'm going to take one red L bracket. Okay, go back to our unit bag. 727 U-bolts. And again, carriage bolts are going to need 2 flat washers, 2 half-inch nuts, and then also, let's say, a bracket. So you install the drive side one first. And feed the U-bolts in from the outside. Now these are fully adjustable. You go up or down with it, forward or back, depending on, again, the comfort of your rider. And what I mean by that is, you can slide it, like say front, back, up, down, hover. You need to be able to do that. Then, 3/4 inch. This one here, we're just going to set it all the way up. And hopefully get in that direction. Make sure it's tight. Then we're going to install our other one. Again, bracket, 2 nuts, 2 washers, and a U-bolt. Okay, now we're going to install our inside chain guard, which in this you're going to need 2 9/16 wrenches, your chain, and your fastener that came in that bag. The first thing we're going to do is remove the clip pin that holds your outer sprocket. This is also how you change your spacing spacing chart is located on the guide there. We'll just set this out of the way for right now. And then there's a 3/8 hex nut, doubles up on your bearing here. You're going to remove this one here, leave the inside one on. And when you go to install your guard, that goes over that, cut slot in there for your chain tightener. And if you look, here's your front mounting hole, which takes a 3/8 by 1 hex head bolt and nut, feed it in from the unit. Okay, with that hanging there, now I replace my nut here. Let me take this out of the way for clarity. Tighten up. And then tighten the front one. Okay. So now we're going to reinstall our sprocket. We're going to take our long chain, 63 links. We're going to put it onto our pocket sprocket first, or an over conveyor sprocket. Okay. Then just lay it on top, feed it on the back side. Pull down your chain, lift up your tightener, and it's installed. Okay. So then we want to put our pipe spacer back on, our roll pin. Feed our sprocket up from the drive, making sure our chain did not come off our chain tightener. Oh, the back of these sprockets, I guess I should have showed you, there's an hourglass cut into it. That so lines up with your roll pins. So again, we collapse our chain here, which now we lost it off our sprocket. Spin it over till it lines up. Take our clip pin. Reinstall it. Okay, at this point we're going to spin our drive to make sure everything's clear, nothing's locking up. Well, when we ship our units out in the crate, we leave the red pocket or the center pocket off here, so we'll bring that back up top when we get done. Now we're going to install our outside guard. Goes on a pin here, and line that up. And there are 2 clip pins that were in our kit. Into that. Okay. Now we're going to install, it's our extra pocket here. Well, we can get to it. Move our nut, our flat washer, and also our water trip actually. Your pocket feeds into your channel here. Your water trip. If you need an example, there's 11 more on there of how that goes. Okay. We want to make sure the spacer bar and everything's pulled up tight. Okay. Then we need 7/16 wrench. It's another wrench I forgot to mention. Okay, we can take our 7/16 wrench. And we're going to tighten up our nut on the back side here. Okay. Feed the rubber onto the pocket here, or the, right. So that one, and again this one. There we go. Okay, now next thing we're going to install is our plant stands. So this is where we're going to need our hammer. And we got to straighten our cotter keys. Now need just the outer one and pull them out. I'm going to take 2 9/16 wrenches, remove the spacer, or a bolt here. Okay, in your kit, like I mentioned before, you have these universal plates. The way they install is you have a notch here, and it goes to the front. Okay, so what we're going to do, pull our bolt out. Put a plate in. Just leave it hang. Okay, and also what comes in our kit are 6 3/8 by 1 and flange nuts. So we take our plant stand, feed it on the front side of that. If you put it in the wrong one, I'll show you what it's going to look like. See how your plant box is going to lean back if you put it in that back hole or the hole closest to the tractor. So then install our bolts from the other side of the unit. All this stuff you're just going to leave loose for right now until you get everything set. And then what we're going to tighten in order is going to be our plate, then our bolts on that. Put our cover key back in so we won't forget it. Again, repeat on this side. So our cotter pin, bend our tabs back over, so no for them to come out. Now, like I said before, we'll tighten the plate that goes on the unit. Then tighten our plates, our plant stand. Okay, also in our plant kit or plant stand box or kit comes these little brackets here. These are your plant box tabs. If you have narrow boxes, you can use the hole closest to your tab. If you have wide boxes, you can use the hole to the furthest. So bolt goes down through. Like I say, we're setting this up for wide boxes. I hope I have one. Snug those up. So one thing we have left now is put our barrel on, put our plant boxes, we're ready to go end seats. So, we'll put our barrel on next. What we do first, I'm going to put my pipe nipple in. While I get to it, this is going to be an 1 1/8" wrench or something equivalent to it. Okay. Also in the bags are J-hooks to hold our straps on. And flange nuts. Start one there. Start both here real quick. That. Okay, we're just going to start them. We're not going to go tight on them yet. Okay, so then we're going to take another J-hook and our strap. We have 3 holes on one side. Okay, this is for different barrel sizes, and a single hole here. We'll go single hole, wrap it around. Found on these, go in the second hole up. Maybe this time. Push it down. There we go. Let's get a little bit more thread started on that one. So this is where you're going to need a 1/2" wrench. Or you can get under the socket and go that way too. Okay, just like I said, just want to get enough in there for a minute so I won't lose it. Okay, so then do a repeat. Now this one here, actually, we're going to put it in the bottom hole, so that's actually kind of tight this time. Oh yeah, there's a big difference there. So I can draw that one all the way up, and this is what I'll use to tighten. So when you go to fill this up the first time with water, fertilizer mix, whatever, you want to make sure these straps are loose for expansion. As soon as you get your water in there filled up, then you can tighten these down so they won't go anywhere. And then when you go to store, do the same thing. Loosen them up. Don't store it tight because it's going to possibly cause the seam to split, and then you'll end up replacing the barrel. So now we're going to install our hose. 2 hose clamps here. Put one down here on our valve. And then the other one up under our tank. You can either use, like I say, a 5/16 wrench or socket set, or flat blade screwdriver, either one, whatever you have. Okay, next thing we're going to install is our seats. On this model, we're installing cushion seats. So we take the rest of the fasteners that we have left over. Our brackets, which will come into our box. 5/16 by 1. Flat washers. Like I say, we're doing a cushion seat. We'll grab our seat. And what we're going to do is feed our carriage bolt up through here first. Otherwise, we're going to bolt it on. There's no way you're going to get your carriage bolt in there. And this is a 1/2 inch socket or wrench or whatever you might have. Okay, now we can remove our nut and our washer. We can flip it over, line up our slot into our bracket here. Okay, the seat is also fully adjustable, front, back, side to side, so then repeat for the last seat. Okay, we're going to leave the seat off because you got the general idea of how to put your seat on. We're going to show you how to change your spacing here. In this segment, we're going to show you how to adjust your plant spacing. Right now, we're set up for 15-inch row spacing, which we have a 9/2 sprocket on this here. Let's remove the guard again. Sorry. We have a 9/2 sprocket on the outside jack shaft, and then we have a 7/2 sprocket on the inside. So again, like say, sprocket on jack shaft, outside 9, inside 7, and then we swing over here to 9 there. That gives us our 15. So like I said, we're going to go down to 7.5 to 8-inch spacing. So we're going to sprocket on outside of jack shaft. There's a 7, so we got to change this one out. Sprocket on the inside. We got to swap this one out to 11, but our unit sprocket stays the same, so we don't have to worry about that one. So remove our clip pin, release our drive, lift up our chain tightener, get rid of the tension, and then remove our sprocket. Okay, so we just leave our chain hang. So what we need, like I said before, we're going 7 or 11 on the inside, and that's going to be a 385 sprocket. Which is labeled right there, which really can't see. It's your largest one that you have. Okay, slide our sprocket on. Best thing to do to load it though, is put your sprocket on with your chain. Okay, notice we're a little short here. So what we need to do, we have extra links that are tied to your unit. So we'll remove our extra links. Now you can swap this out or break the chain and whatnot by yourself. It's also handy if you have someone else with you. So what you're going to need is a 1/4 inch punch. So you don't have to worry about buying no special tools. Piece of wood, something hard like a piece of steel or whatnot. Okay. And what you're going to do, if you look on this, you'll see your links here, okay? You got a curl here, that's on the bottom, and then a 1/2 loop up top. Okay, you're gonna wanna load this thing on the floor, so you'll have the flat lined up with your slot and your chain. So have someone step on the main part of the chain there, okay? And I'm just gonna start with a hammer first. get it in that slot. There we go. Now we got it started. Now we take our punch. Okay, whew. We put it back together. Okay, like I said before, we got our flat, and on our link, we have a loop or a curl, and then also a half flat up top. So the half flats can go up top, okay? What you do is just line it up here. You can hold that for me. Okay, make sure it flexes. And we do the same thing again, making sure that our chain didn't get twisted, okay? Okay, it flexes still. So then, like we did before, put it on our unit. Put it on the back sprocket, or drive sprocket. Okay, and like then our spacers, roll pin, and now I say too, instead of 11 that we also needed on our outside, right? No, 7 on the outside. Good thing I checked. Okay, so actually we're taking our sprocket from the inside, now we're moving it to the outside. Now your chain's gonna be a little bit long, hanging down. It's not gonna hurt anything. If you don't like it, you can always break it and shorten it up, but there's no need of it. Spin it till it lines up. Install the clip pin. Okay. Then reinstall our guard. Reinstall the seat if you took it off. And that is how you change your spacing on your planks, and also how to break a chain and put it back together with no really special tools except for a 1/4 inch punch, a block of steel, some wood, and a hammer. In this segment of the video, we're going to show you how to install the 482s, also known as pocket extensions. In your kit, like I say, this here's a 12 pocket machine. When you set them up on, you'll get 12 42 springs, 12 5/16 by 5/8 serrated flange bolts, 12 serrated flange nuts, and 12 482 washers. To install your 482 kit, you take your washer, you'll see there's a little groove in there. Take your bolt, you go to your pocket, you're going to install it in this top hole of your pocket. Nut on the inside. Okay, so what you want to do, you can see this moves up and down fairly easily, well, when it's loose. Okay, so you can adjust your height. You want to make sure that when you set your cell in here, it's supported, but not far enough out where it's going to start kicking the dirt out of your trench here, or out of your shoe. So, what I'm going to do, we're also going to take a measurement. We're going to say about 1.5 inches, which right there. So you're going to be consistent all the way around. 2 1/2 inch wrenches. Snug it up, and then we're just going to repeat. another spring, locating washer, and a nut. Again, our top pole of our pocket. Get our measurement again, 1.5 inches. And again, it's going to vary for your cell. Again, you don't want to stick it out too far, but also you want it out enough to be able to support that cell.